Again, guys, it is Team Liquid versus Dignitas DigPix as we go in game to Expedition Lost and introduce our red Zerg player in the upper right hand corner of the map from Team Liquid. It is red. And down in the bottom left hand corner of the map, our pink pros player representing Dignitas DigPix. Of course, he is part of DigPix. It is Patience, our pink pros player. Expedition Lost for map number 1 here. We'll see what these guys are going to get up to. Ret again with that all kill last night against Immortals, looking pretty solid there. If I do remember, he played another series. What series did... am I missing a series when they... No, okay, so Red did actually open against Invasion Esports as well, and he beat a pros player on this map. He defended an Immortal Centriole, and if I remember correctly, I think it was Genji Takia who defeated again from Invasion Esports. And then he went up against Gumiho on Deadwing, and he nearly won the game. He went for kind of a Roach Queen Nidus, and Gumiho was playing mech, and he had a kind of the perfect time, but then he attacked into some tanks, and it all kind of went a little bit sour from there, but... Be interesting to see how this is going to go. We have a Forge first here for Patience, which is slightly unfortunate because Ret is drone scouting, and seeing this, he will not go for a hatchery first, most likely. He will pop down that pool, and yeah, just wait a little bit longer before getting his hatchery up, as this drone will go into the main base to scout what's going on now as well. This probe heading across the map will still continue across here. When he sees no hatch first, he probably won't commit to any cannons or anything, and so this is a fairly, you know, he delays his nexus a little bit, but he forces a pool first at least, and yeah, so Patience is going to be able to block down here for a little while as well with this probe, and right with this one drone, going to chase that and try and get rid of some of the hit points on this so he can actually get his hatchery down. And there's that nexus coming down for Patience back at home, so no real surprises here to start off the game on Expedition Lost. It's going to be a bit of a passive opening here in this PvZ as whoa! Alright, so Ret taking a bit of a page out of Snoot's book actually, as this is something we saw Snoot do a couple of weeks ago in the SC2 Improved Winter Series. Who did we see do this yesterday? I think we saw a Zerg player from... was it Katz? I think Katz did this against Lilbo yesterday actually, where he went for this... hatchery on the gold as his first expansion. So went for a hatchery on the gold, and Lilbo tried to attack into it, and he was doing okay, and then all of a sudden he just kind of crumbled and fell. He lost his reinforcement pile and he got a bit caught out, and then Lings just streamed into his base and it was game over from there. And that was in Root versus Baguette, which we saw last night as well. So, you know, Patience has seen this early on. This probe has spotted that, so he knows this is happening. He knows what's going on. And this probe is going to be chased back here for now. And should be able to get back home without going down quite safely. So probe going to be able to make its way back. Put another probe on hold position here because we do have them cannons. That cannon just finishing now, and doesn't want to let the Zerglings slip by and get any scouting information. As Patience going to add on his Cybernex core, and you know, against a Forge Fast Expand, this is going to be really hard to really kind of deny or punish at all. Yeah, because. With you know, if you open with a gateway expand, which is kind of what I've seen against this so far, it's actually been Lilbo who's played against it twice when I've seen it happening. He always kind of gate expands, and it means he has a very fast cyber core and fast warp gate, so you can quite easily go into a very quick 4-gate push and try and be aggressive against this. But after a Forge opening, you know, that gateway comes down a little bit later, the cyber core comes down a little bit later in the warp gate. So what does he decide to try and do here? He's going to Chrono Boost out a Stalker, so it looks like more than anything it's going to be a little bit of light pressure from Patience with a couple of gateway units early on and maybe the Mothership core. And we'll see if he wants to commit any further from that point. As right with this first Queen here, looking as though it's... maybe just, well, it's just down here, maybe looking to get the first hit on anything possible. We'll see if he drops a Creep Tumor, if he's going to go for an inject. He's going to drop that Creep Tumor, which is quite smart. I mean, the more you can push the creep towards your opponent's base, well, the better, basically. But he also really needs to think about connecting these two bases up, because the one thing I'm always going to say when we have something like this going on is you need to be able to get reinforcements to your gold base, because otherwise you're just going to kind of die. So he needs to be able to get units over here nice and quickly, and you know, one way, you know, that you can help doing that is by, you know, getting some creep going between your natural and your main. If your Zergling's popping out here and this Queen is going to try and take down that Mothership core, the Queen will lose this battle. Another Queen is on the way though. He'll get over here and pop down that inject just before the Queen goes down, so making the most of a bad situation. The Stalker continues to be chased by these Zerglings Zerglings. It looks as though that Stalker will be able to make it away, and the Membership Core also going to back off, so picks off a Queen. He's kind of forced a few Zerglings, so not all looking pretty good so far, as we do have a Robo Facility just on the way down here for Patience. Single Overlord just moving through the natural, and that is going to be falling here in a couple of moments. And Rhett, what sort of information was he able to pick up from that? He's also got an Overlord in the main base right now, and he sees a few extra gateways being added on. Does not spot the Robo Facility though, and we actually see a Warp Prism coming up from Patience as he cleans out this Overlord to the left hand side of his main base as well. So yeah, so Warp Prism coming out, and 4 gateways going to be the total number here. +1 is coming up behind all of this as well, and I'm still kind of surprised that Rhett hasn't got that creep spread going between these bases quite yet. That being said, this creep team is continuing to advance forward, so that's something Patience really needs to do something about. And he adds on an Observer now as well as a bunch more gateways though, and does Rhett see that Warp Prism? I'm not sure if he did, guys. I actually really don't know if he did. He will see it now though with this Overlord. He's got some roaches already on the way, and he's going into Burrow, which isn't going to help him all too much because of the fact that there is a Robo Facility down, there is an Observer on the way out. So on the way across here, we actually have a probe in this Warp Prism as well, so maybe going to look to drop a pylon, so you can use the Warp Prism to micro sentries, etc., instead of having to use it to warp in. And here we go, 2 Queens already here, and well, I think there's enough units though to just get out, and he will just be able to, to fend this away, and he will just turn this Warp Prism away. So Patience not finding a way to do anything just yet. As +1 is about to finish, we see Immortals coming up in that production tab. So this is going to be a continued all-in here from Patience. Some light pressure with these initial units, and, you know, trying to do whatever he can. He's going to be able to get himself a Overlord kill here, and hits Rhett into a little bit of a supply block. There's Rhett up to 58 drones right now, and also just again some light pressure, just looking to see what he can do, as needs to be careful though, because he doesn't want to lose these units. And whoa, staying around maybe a little bit too long, still manages to get away though. As back at home, more sentries being warped in, +1 armor being chrono boosted out as well, as the first Immortal is now out, and Patience looking as though he's going to start moving forwards here. So question is, does Rhett have enough? He's got a lot of roaches, a lot of lings as well, some Overlords on the way up too. It's going to be about the force fields, which I guess is kind of obvious to say, and this is a pretty nice position to force field into. I mean, 1, 2 force fields and a third to kind of block off any access, so Rhett really does need to hold a forward position here, I feel, as Patience is going to start putting down these pylons. Burrow coming in, I believe there's an Observer with this army, or where is it? Okay, there is an Observer around, and he's actually going to move back right now, so he should be able to see in a moment or two these roaches burrowed, and he will know where those units are, so he knows that's kind of the trick right now. As he's actually about to lose the pylon, which is a little bit unfortunate. Warp Prism is still around, of course, and here we go. Rhett's on to move forwards. Time Warp comes in a little bit late there, and the first Immortal gets sniped down very, very quickly, so a lot of firepower going down from Patience very early on in this battle, but there's a lot of force fields left over. But with more roaches and Spinecrawlers on the way, I'm not sure if Patience is really going to be able to keep pushing forwards here. So that was a great first trade for him, apart from losing that first Immortal. But can he keep it up? Can he keep pushing forwards? Is going to be the question as this Warp Prism starts to warp in a couple more units. And Rhett coming in from behind with a few units as well. There's an Overlord going down for him. Not the biggest of deals so far. He's not getting supply blocked or anything just yet. A few drones in a little bit of trouble. But this is the dangerous position where, you know, just a couple of force fields are going to be able to, allow Patience to push forwards and just take down the gold base. And Rhett not feeling as though he has quite enough to deal with it just yet. That Queen goes down as well. That Observer being very useful. Some units from behind. And Patience will move forwards to try and deal with this. Now this Burrow movement is finished here. But again, the Observer nearby. So a lot of free shots going down for Rhett to begin with. Drops there for Patience to begin with. The force fields come down here to try and buy him a little bit more time to fend off a few of these roaches. And for now, again, he is holding on. And Rhett is just going to burrow and move away. But at the same time, this Mothership Core has just been sat here picking away at this Spinecrawler. And I think there's a little bit too much firepower here to keep this gold base alive. For Rhett, so he's going to move forwards once again, though. He gets a good move forwards here, and he's going to be able to pick off another Immortal, and that puts Patience down to just a single Immortal right now. But again, this gold base is almost destined to die at this point, and it's so close. I mean, I guess the Mothership Core will finish it in the end. There's a couple of roaches from behind once more going to be picked off here. And that Spinecrawler is still being targeted by the Mothership Core here. And there's that hatchery now going down. And Patience can maybe take a moment to regroup a little bit here. Maybe chrono boost out another Immortal or two before actually continuing forwards with this attack. As Rhett now down to 2 bases. Is not going to be in the best of positions to continue to fend this off. As these roaches are little bit unsure what to do. The ship core going down. I'm not sure actually what killed that. Was that actually Patience killing it? Maybe very well have been. As either way, we're going to see these force fields come down. I think there's just too many stalkers though, as Patience is going to be able to keep on force field and stopping these roaches from retreating. The sentry count is, you know, dying off a little bit, and he is running out of force fields, but I think again there's just a little bit too much already here for Patience, and he's going to continue moving forwards. Now it looks as though he's going to try and just end the game right now, as a couple of drones getting found moving over towards the new third base, which is currently being established, and Patience not going to run up there just yet, as he's actually just going to wait for these roaches to come down from the natural queen. Tries to get a transfuse off, and he does save a roach for a little while longer, but with this next warping of units, Patience really is just going to have a little bit too much here, and will continue to advance forwards and in towards the natural expansion. A couple of force fields coming down, some drones being pulled, and Patience in the end, his 2-base timing is going to work out for him, but it was very close, and again, you know, things weren't looking great for him at certain points, especially when he was losing those first immortals very early on. Now Stalkers will continue to move forwards, Roaches will continue to fall, and that will be GG. Red taps out of the game, and Patience takes game number 1 in this best of 7 all-kill series between Dignitas